How to do. So, it is March 8th of 2021, and I am doing the Vacaday 2020 pickups, finally, from like September, October, somewhere around that area of 2020, last year. And Minxie is here to help. So, yes, this is the long-awaited, I don't know if it's awaited, my pickups that I got on, on our vacation last year, that I said that I would do when I got back, and then never did. So now I have the pickups from the vacation, our little mini vacation that we took a couple weeks ago. So I will do that one in 2026, maybe. I don't know, thereabouts is. So, but this is Vacaday 2020 pickups. Okay. So, this is, we went to, that's kind of how we did, because a lot of the stuff that Mom was thinking about going and seeing on our last trip just a few weeks ago, we were there like Sunday and Monday, and of course everything was closed Sunday and Monday. So we did a lot of, flea marketing and whatever in the Pryor, Oklahoma area, whatever the next town over is that I can't think of. Little town with all the... It has the Amish cheese house, and I don't know. Thereabouts in Oklahoma. So that's kind of what we did on 2020. Is we did a little more sightseeing then, but we did flea marketing and stuff. So this is all. I wish we could find this store again. I don't remember what store it is, but anyway, a movie that I kind of always wanted to see was Ultraviolet. I never, this was around the time that Mila Jovovich was famous for the Resident Evil movies and kicking a lot of ass, and also Fifth Element. Like, I was introduced to Mila from Fifth Element, so of course, she didn't get to do near enough, ass-kicking in that movie, which was unfortunate. Should have. But she's got at least one good scene. So this always seemed like, even if it was like a stupid turn your brain off and just watch Mila Jovovich kill a lot of people for like an hour and a half, whatever, it just seemed like it would be a good time. And of course this cover is so shiny, so shiny. You know me and shiny covers. I cannot help myself. Cannot help myself. They even mention Resident Evil and Fifth Element on the back. A visual feast from start to finish. Blah, blah, blah. William Fichtner's in this? I know him. He's the guy on Mom, right? The plays the Bonnie's husband. Well, anyway, these people star in the story of a woman caught in a futuristic civil war between the government and a subculture of disease-modified humans in whom speed, strength, and intelligence are magnified. So nothing like zombies. At all. To protect a young boy who has been marked for death, she must fend off the human government. So sound like, just popcorn action flick. Still, of course, have not seen it. Why would I do such a thing? Crazy, right? Hello, Minxie. Again, back there. There was one store that we went to. I don't remember where that store was. But they had, like, this entire back wall of nothing but, like, weird, random movies, and of course a bunch of horror movies they'd never heard of before, such as The Locals. Once again, got a nice shiny cover here. A bloody, scary horror film. The Locals is the real deal. They're dying to meet you, just so that you know. It begins with two friends from the city, doesn't it always, on a weekend drive to the beach. Not always to the beach, I suppose. They take a shortcut down a private rural road. There it is. We knew it was coming. There is an unexpected encounter, a stuck car, and a shocking crime. Quickly, their good time getaway becomes a desperate nightmare from which there is no escape. Writer-director Greg Page makes his startling feature film debut with this supernatural shocker that the Seattle International Film Festival says recalls the early horror films of fellow Kiwi Peter Jackson. That's a person who does horror movies. It's not like Wes Craven that I know of. I don't know. If anyone knows Kiwi Peter Jackson, maybe he did early horror films that I don't know. I mean, it's not Vincent Price. The other guy. Yeah. I mean, maybe those were more actors than necessarily. Vincent Price made movies, right? I don't know. And Ain't It Cool News hails as nearly genre-defying, a New Zealand horror gem. Oh, so it's from New Zealand. Okay. I don't know if I've ever seen a New Zealand horror film. Sometimes I like to watch other cultures. There's one that I've been watching. It's a series of movies on Netflix about a doll. And I think the last one is called Sabrina. There's like 3 of them. The people in these are superhuman. Like, they will fall off roofs and get stabbed with... Like, these are just the people, okay? These are the people fighting the supernatural doll. I think they're Korean horror films? I can't remember for sure exactly at the time. But yeah, like, they will get smashed by a fucking mountain and just get up and continue to run. And it's like, wow, okay. But sometimes I like to, watch things from other countries just to see how they do things. Sometimes it can be different. Prepare yourself for an unforgettable wrong turn into the heartland of evil. Meet the locals. So that was one of the ones that I got there. Another one, and this breaks my heart, the Spiral Staircase, because it has Hastings stickers on it, and it makes me miss Hastings, and I get sad in the pants. That's Ethel Barrymore. That's not Drew Barrymore. A murderer is targeting disabled young women in a sleepy New England town, and Helen, a mute servant in a Gothic mansion, is terrified she's next. Ooh, I like the sound of Gothic mansion. That has got me. Mrs. Warren, legendary actress Ethel Barrymore, in an Oscar-nominated performance, Best Supporting Actress, 1946. The invalid? Bullying mistress of the house warns Helen to leave at once, rather than rely on her weak son and stepson for protection. But even as Helen is packing her things, she suspects she may be too late, and the murderer is closer than she ever imagined. It's her! She did it! Oh, I don't know. It's Vincent Price. Is he in this? Maybe. It almost looks like him, but I don't think it's him, though. So, this was just one of those, like... kind of an interesting, and that's not George Wendt either, that's George Brent. This movie has so many almost people in it. But no, not quite. I'm sure there were people at the time, probably. It was not from 2005. Well, I mean, Best Supporting Actress in 1946, so I assume the movie had to come out in 1946, I don't know. But anyway, it was kind of a, horror movie I'd never heard of before, so I thought maybe I'd give it a chance. And something else that I gave a chance, and I had to. This was, all of these movies, I believe, came from the same place, because they had all of these, like, horror movies that I'd never heard of before, including The Terror You Will Never Forget, Muckman. This one, like, as soon as I saw that, I'm like, I have to... This looks like a ridiculously cheesy... See beautiful bikini babes brawl. See unspeakable violence and gore. See terrifying monsters run amok. And spit water or something. Maybe pee on you. I'm not totally sure. A fun monster flick, according to Robert Hood. Fans of B cinema will find a nifty little conventional horror film in this one. Rogue Cinema says so. Mayhem runs amok. A sexy TV host goes hunting to uncover the mystery of a legendary swamp creature called the Muckman. She, her crew, and their local guides get much more than they bargained for as night falls, and they find themselves invading Muckman territory. Muckman. Filmed in Polonioscope and Pipervision HD. I feel like those are not things, but they claim it on here, so good for them. But yeah, this just seemed like an interesting... it's Polonia Brothers Entertainments that you see down there. I don't know how many movies they got a chance to make. Chemical Burn. I couldn't really read that. It's on there kind of odd, but, well, you know, tiny. Tiny, and all those little colors and everything kind of blended together looking at it. But so this sounded like it just looked like ridiculous B-horror fun. So of course I had to get this one. So I really wish we could remember where that store was. Of course, you know, like I said, it might not have been open when we were there last time. Now this, I'm pretty sure this is a fairly notorious horror movie. I feel like I've seen it on whenever people talk about like extreme horror movies or horror movies I don't want to watch again, which of course makes me want to watch it. So I figured maybe I'd found something that was hard to find, but maybe not, because I looked it up on eBay just to see, and it seems like it's readily available. But I found it in the wild, so I don't know what that was. Sorry. I mean, I know what Minxie is. She's a kitty, so she's a lovely kitty. But anyway, so yes, I feel like I've heard of this movie before. I'm pretty sure that I have. Zombie Holocaust. I feel like this is on those like extreme, you know, not ridiculous, but like just kind of like horror movies people don't want to see again. like you know, watch it once and that's good enough. So I feel like this is somewhat notorious. Peter Chandler and Dr. Laurie Ridgway come across a gruesome flesh-eating cult in New York. Determined to uncover the origins of this mad corporation, they set out on an expedition to the primitive island of Quito. Or Quito? I don't know. The two are soon trapped in the wilderness, surrounded by a tribe of cannibals and the insane scientist, Dr. Obrero. Obrero? The doctor captures Chandler and prepares him for a series of experiments designed to bring about the end of normal human morality. In turn, Laurie is captured by the murderous tribe and subjected to their bizarre rituals. In the tradition of the classic film Zombie, Ian McCullough reprises his role of a New Yorker faced with primal horror. So, new uncut anamorphic widescreen transfer. So, scenes from Tales That'll Tear Your Heart Out that were added to U.S. theatrical version. Shriek Show. This is a Shriek Show. But, you know, you got that guy right there. So, yeah, I feel like I've heard of this movie. This is somewhere in the back of my brain as something that is hard to watch or whatever. So now I must see if it is as disturbing as I have heard that it is. So, and part of me hopes so, because I'm fucked up. So, but now, going into more family, and now for something completely different. Did that sound enough like Monty Python? The Lost Treasure of Sawtooth Island. This was not at the same place, but this looked kind of like a family-friendly, like, action-adventure, Goonies kind of thing. And seeing that guy reminds me I didn't get my pop because I overslept. My Funko Pop. Very mad. Very mad. They had a virtual con earlier this week. Or last week. I guess it was last week. And I actually won whatever little raffle or whatever it was to go in and do shopping time. Like a couple days early. And I even set I set a notification on my phone. I put it in my calendar. And I thought when I put it in my calendar, it did an alarm. It does not. it just goes buzz, 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 buzz very silently. So when I fall asleep on the couch, as I tend to do, that was not enough to wake me up, and I slept straight through it. And now all the fucking flippers have them on eBay for like $200-300. So fuck you, yeah, fucking flippers. Anyway, now that I've had my moment, The Lost Treasure of Sawtooth Island, and it even has Ernest Borgnine. He's a guy, yeah, and it has a dog, yeah. I have a dog. I don't know who that guy is. I know who Ernest Borgnine is. He's the one that masturbates a lot, right? I believe that's him. Anyway, Danny Quinn lives with one great dream. He wants to prove that his late father was right about a pirate treasure hidden away in the depths of Lake Michigan. Late one evening, Danny is visited by the ghost of the old pirate Picaroon, who tells him the location of the lost treasure, but also warns him of the evil forces of Doc Beller, the treacherous treasure hunter who also seeks the lost fortune. Follow this action-packed family adventure as Danny, his faithful dog Rosalie, and a ragtag crew of characters set off in search of the legendary treasure, only to find very real danger surrounding Lost Treasure of Sawtooth Island. So, this seemed like, once again, it could be like a fun, family-friendly kind of. I mean, it doesn't have to be family friendly. Obviously, if I'm buying Zombie Holocaust, hoping that it's the most fucked up thing I've ever seen. But variety, spice of life. I have many layers. It's fine. So depending on what movie I'm in the mood for, you never know. And this is something that I have a tendency to like the movies that people don't like. Are not big, sellers. It wasn't like it took off like the X-Men or, Batman or anything like that, because he was a lesser known superhero, but, I still had fun watching him, the Phantom, and this has the bam, 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 has like the fancy thing. I remember, and I believe Catherine Zeta-Jones is in this, right? Yes, because I think that's one of the first times I ever saw her. Christy Swanson is also in this, who played the movie version of Buffy, at least. Not that matters. Doesn't matter. Billy Zane stars as the Phantom in this thrill-a-minute actioner based on one of the most successful comic series of all time. That's what they say. I know the Phantom. I knew when the movie came out, the Phantom was like some kind of comic character or whatever, but it wasn't one that I'd heard a lot of, I guess. The story begins as an expedition lands on the island of Bengali, seeking the legendary skulls of Tuganda, believed to harness an energy force of incalculable power. The skulls could spell disaster for mankind, and that's exactly what ruthless tycoon Xander Drax, played by Treat Williams, has in mind, unless one man can save it. Now evil has met its match, and great movie adventure has a new name, The Phantom. And this one was fun to watch. It was entertaining. It didn't have to, have a whole lot of, I guess, character development or... it just has to slam evil. Slam evil. And that's what it did. And it gave me, it entertained me for an hour and a half. And I guess it doesn't take much for me. Beggars can't be choosers. I don't know, that's what they say. But, I just had fun. The movie was fun. I enjoyed it. It entertained me. It held my interest. I wanted to see what happened next because it was just fun, a treat for the eyes. It doesn't always have to be a treat for the brain. It just has to be a treat for the eyes. Just make sure your eyes aren't bigger than your stomach. In the case of, now of course, this was at like, I don't know if it was like a Christian shop or it was maybe it was some I don't know. I was surprised to find this in their store, but I guess movies come in and they just try to get them out of there. So I helped them out by getting Elvira, Mistress of the Dark, out of their way. I'm pretty sure this is the one that I've seen or at least seen part of, because that looks familiar to me right there. I remember there's one where she's trying to make dinner for somebody, and she ends up like conjuring a creature instead of actually like making food. So I remember, at least I saw part of, and as a kid I probably didn't get all the subtle nuances and, you know, all the jokes that comes with an Elvira movie. From Hollywood to Las Vegas, from screaming gremlins to campy shtick to witchy graveyard warfare, Elvira, Mistress of the Dark, is busting at the seams with morbid and monstrous misadventure. So, it would probably be a completely different experience watching this movie as an adult than it was as a child, because I probably didn't get 95% of the jokes. So, but now I will, if I ever watch this again. The funniest horror lampoon since Mel Brooks' Young Frankenstein. Elvira is a special effect even Spielberg can't match. Elvira is a hilariously over-the-top comic creation. She suggests Michael Keaton's Beetlejuice crossed with Cher on the tear. On the tear? On the tear? Oh. That's what it says right there. So, you know, I don't know. I've never. I know I have a couple of, like, I have the Haunted Hills over there. I remember seeing that one in my collection from you know, when I was doing my movie collection videos that I need to figure out where I left off so I can get back to it one of these days. But I don't know that I had this one on DVD or Blu-ray. I don't know if it's available on DVD or Blu-ray. But sometimes just having, you know, the old VHS, it's more of a collector thing for me, kind of like with this. I believe I have this on DVD. Did I have this on DVD or Blu-ray or something? But sometimes it's just kind of fun to have especially when it slams. Bam, bam. So sometimes it's more of a collector thing for me than actually like, and sometimes these older films are, you know, fun to watch on VHS because then, you know, sometimes some of the charm of them is taken away if you watch them a little bit too cleaned up, like 4K, you know. So sometimes it's nice to just watch an old film an old way, I guess. So yeah, that is finally my my pickup video from last year. So now sometime I need to do my pickup video from this year because they're still back there somewhere. Minxie passed out. She's sick of my shit. I would be too. But anyway, I have a lot more movies to show you if I can ever get back to my collection videos. And even just the pickup video. I don't know how long this one was, but the pickup video from this last time is going to be even longer because there's many more movies that I picked up this last time. So I'll try to keep my my getting distracted to a minimum, my rambling to a minimum as much as possible. But anyway, that was this video, and it's done now. So who knows? I don't even want to promise any videos because it ain't like I'm ever going to do them, you know, or maybe 2 years down the line. Who knows? Who knows? But anyway, if you remember which videos I said I was going to do, like the Loot Crate video, and I feel like there's others. I don't know. Who knows? I do have my BAM box. I don't know where my BAM box is. It's on the way. Last I knew. It was somewhere on March 4th. That's all I remember. And I'm getting this month's Loot Crate. Speaking of Buffy the Vampire Slayer, there should be a Buffy the Vampire Slayer item in it. But anyway, it's not like I ever did that one, or that one, or that one, so, or this one, until just now. So, anyway, I've got some bullshit coming up. Who cares? It might get posted eventually sometime. Who knows? Hello. Welcome back to the world, Minxie. And she's done. Anyway, I'll I see it.